be taking you through our journey for making SPRL a safer, healthier, and environmentally compliant organizations, and the process that we have adopted. The best practices that we have put it in our end, as well as the efforts that we are putting in at our tier 2 suppliers and ensuring that they are actually compliant to all the health, safety, and environmental requirements. A brief introduction of SPRLs. There are 2 manufacturing facilities housing more than 7,500 employees in both the factories put together, spanning over 50 acres of land. We have a wide product range, which includes ferrous and non-ferrous alloys, having operations of foundry, forging, machining, and machining operations. And we have a wide base of our collaborators for sharing of ideas and practices from global leaders for best practices. We have integrated HSE in our vision and mission statements, as well as we have integrated HSE for building the safe and environment system to support the brand of the company. Few of the achievements in our recent past, we are IATF with respect to quality management system, ISO 14001 and ISO 45001 certified organization. We are winner of prestigious British Safety Council 5-star rating as well as Sword of Honor for both our plants. Recently, we are awarded gold by ACMA for our excellence in HSE practices. These achievements, it's a continuous improvement with respect to safety parameters. There are 0 reportable and non-reportable accidents in last 4 years, and we do actually record the accidents or minor injuries of the visitors as well as contractors. What we have observed is the improvement in using of the personal protective equipment by the employees, and a positive frame to the employees through awards, rewards and recognition if they are doing good job in safety, which helped us in improving the employee satisfaction score. And we have what as intangible benefits. There is a benefit with respect to the medical expenses. The noise level on the shop floor, which has gone down. We have almost eliminated the leakages of oil and air on the shop floor. Approach to HSE implementation. It's a process integration, basically moving from reactive approach to a proactive approach, basically involving the people for health, safety, and environment, and implementing systems, the proactive systems like lockout, tagout, hazard identification, as well as theme-based safety audits. The process is simple. It's a PDCA, which is part of the management system. When we say people, EHS-driven safety system to people-driven safety system, so it's in place of a safety officer doing all the job. It's basically the entire plant which comes together and works on the safety of each other, helping out each other on the safer work, making the workplace safer. So that is being done through regular frequent training programs on health, safety, and environment topic, involvement of employees, basically the machine operators into hazard identification, layered process audit, which is done by the executive director, the head of the plant as well, as per the refined frequency. When we talk about proactive approach, the first part is the risk assessment, identifying all the risks which are there in the plant, and then prioritizing the risk and addressing those. Capturing of near miss events to spread awareness and to make workplace more safer. Identification of unsafe acts and unsafe condition, and here we involve our operators to help us identify so that those can be closed. A theme-based audit system, basically it is to check the safety parameter or of a specific or critical operation or equipment. For example, this is for a power press, wherein there are the points over there, and even a layman actually can go through with this check sheet and carry out the assessments. Training, it's very important. So it's a well set up safety training, safety dojo center, which are working live models of different safety hazards. Few of the best practices as an outcome of that. First is the management of change process. It's a safety evaluation. It's an integral part of managing the changes in any of the process, whether it's change in people, change in process, or change in equipment, or change in chemicals. On material handling, forklifts. So making forklifts more visible to the employee through identification light, putting up convex mirrors at the blind corners, and having a system of operator certification for the forklift driver, as well as a daily checklist for safe operation of the forklifts. On the equipment side, putting up double hand push buttons, interlocking, as well as the light curtain sensors on the machine. Putting up toe guards on manual material handling equipments, positioning of safety curtain, two-hand push buttons, and auto doors to make sure that the person, even intentionally, should not get an injury. All these things without a good housekeeping is not valid. So making your shop floor spick and span. Provision of firefighting equipments for emergency preparedness, CO2 flooding system or auto flooding system for fire-prone areas which are normally unmanned. With respect to health, provision of dust and fume extraction system, acoustic enclosure for high noise equipment, just to make sure that all the people in the work area are actually not exposed to the noise. Ensuring overall well-being of the employees through regular participative sports, games, frequent yoga sessions and training sessions on mental wellness. Couple of best practices from the environmental front. It's a process-based approach wherein identification of the environmental aspects to addressing the environmental compliance and going beyond the compliance is a target over here. So during the process mapping of the environmental aspect, we identify critical areas. On those critical areas, we try to list out the projects that needs to be done to improve on the efficiency of those identified items. For example, it's an example of reduction in compressed air leakages. Specifically on water management, basically to identify where our water is going, to account the water, find out unaccountable water, and implement provisions to make sure we reduce on our water consumption. And one of that aspect is the installation of a zero liquid discharge plant. So whatever water is actually treated in our plant is passed through the zero liquid discharge plant and reused in the process. So not a single drop of water is actually discharged into the environment, into the ground, or into the solar dryer. Hazardous waste management, making it inventorizing the same, segregating it at the source, and striving towards 100% safe disposal of hazardous waste. 98% of our hazardous waste is being sent for recycling, reuse, or co-processing. That's only 2% of the waste which is actually being sent for secured landfill, and which we are working on to coming into environmental friendly disposal practice. As we move along in our journey towards having a safer workplace in our plant, we are extending our expertise to our tier 2 and tier 3 suppliers, and these are being done through educating them on HSE, health, safety, and environmental requirements, supporting them in ensuring the 100% legal compliances, carrying out fire risk assessment for them, and helping them out with respect to addressing the issues, carrying out periodic EHS audit, deployment of machine guarding and safety POCs for their equipments, compliance to the PPE requirement, and consultation of material handling to prevent quality defects and enhance safety. So these are few of the areas that we are working on with our tier 2 and tier 3 suppliers. Just a snapshot, these are our tier 2 suppliers and the audit schedule, which is audit calendar, which is made, and based on that, they are being audited, a report is published, and we do ensure that they close these points, and if they are not able to, we do support them in closing this point. Road ahead, what we believe in is whatever we monitor, it can be improved. So we have a plan, a master plan over next 3-4 years, how we need to go ahead in improving ourselves with respect to EHSN requirement, as well as helping our tier 2 suppliers as well as tier 3 suppliers in managing the plan. So that's all from my side.